y'all? Welcome to the Emperor TV, and today I will be recapping Baddies USA Chapter 2, Episode 14 review. Let's get into it, and please like, comment, and subscribe. So this week, we start with the girls performing, and they perform their little songs. Big Lex and Fauna kind of get into it, and I'm thinking at this point, Fauna, I couldn't have been you, because even though you trying to keep it cool, copacetic, cordial, trying to do whatever, but at the same time, if you have multiple opportunities to run up on Big Lex, while y'all are exchanging words, you looking at her, attack. In all honesty, like if you feel some kind of way, you still feel kind of messed up about the spit, then you need to do something about it, because she's over here bragging and doing all this other stuff, and you still have not done anything. Fighting doesn't make you a baddie, but in this case, the spit situation, yeah, you definitely got to see Big Lex about that. You still have to get your get back and your lick back from that, even if you got to spit back. You got to do something, because, yeah. And then Sirach and Tasiki had a brief exchange. Tasiki was getting, I guess, escorted out or whatever. And Stunner, I guess, is done with her little baddies tour. I mean, she didn't really spend time with anybody in the house. Or she didn't even go to the house. She didn't even exchange words with the other baddies. She just did her performances in dip. But, yeah, I guess she's called it quits and she was done for the season. And Natalie meets with Big Lex, Cold Killer, DTB, and Rolly. They talk about the stun gun situation, and Diamond is funny talking about she's torn in between the two. Which she really is torn in between the two when it comes to being friends with Tinker and then being cool with Cold Killer. But I feel like the stun gun situation was completely wrong in that situation, and I feel like when it comes to the outsiders, the mace, the use of the weapon, I'm trying to come up with a word, weaponry. I done came up with a word, but the use of that is just like y'all taking it to a place where it doesn't need to be. I'm sorry, Kokilla, you was wrong for bringing a stun gun, or someone gave you the stun gun, which I know who she is. Girl, you ain't slick, from the other network, but I ain't here to talk about that. But I know who gave her that stun gun. But still, like, why we doing that? It's like y'all trying to go to jail. And they also talk about the line dance and how everything happened with Pressure fighting Tavy and hitting Amber upside of her head, sneaking her, and TT and Emery and their whole little friendship that's not really looking too good, because TT claimed Emery didn't have her back. The girls keep saying Emery did have her back, so it's just kind of like, but in all honesty, I think TT should just talk to Emery and just move over it. Just get over it. Just completely get over it, because that's been your homegirl since Baddies Gone Wild. And it actually is kind of sad to see how y'all fall out like this. So they really do need to come together, and they need to resolve that issue. And next is Ivory, Mariah, and ET meet up to talk about what's been happening. And Sirach snuck or mush Mariah down to the ground. Mariah's still acting oblivious, like she didn't do nothing. And mind you, Mariah threw a whole heel at Sirach. So anything that happened to you next, take accountability. And I realize that is the problem. Baddies don't like to take accountability. I get it, you're baddies, but stand 10 toes down on what you did. You threw the heel. So she threw her hand, mushed you down to the ground, and that was that. You started it. She finished it. I'm sorry, but Ciroc has kind of won pretty much me over, and due to popular belief, everybody over. Like she's slowly becoming the fan favorite. Like people love Ciroc, and the other girls, Egypt, Kanaya, and Neek and Bahati up here. And ET's just instigating everything between the cabaret girls, saying girls are looks like girls around here getting a free check and they need to show their personality more. You know, just instigating just a little bit, but yeah. And then Pressure and TT meet with Tommy, and surprisingly, Summer and Tommy have been having some things happen off camera. Summer been summering, done took the camera from the cameraman, and it's been a lot of wild things happening between Summer and Tommy off camera, but they seem to be working through it, I guess. And then we have Ciroc, Emery, Persuasion. You know, they do a little meetup or whatever. And Persuasion saying how she's outgrown the show. And I think I've known this, she's outgrown the show since Baddie South, to be completely honest with you. Because it's like you came from Bad Girls Club, which is nothing wrong with it. But at some point, when is there going to be an evolve? You know, unless you like Jayla, who don't mind getting in the paint with the fighting and carrying on. Jayla didn't mind fighting back to back to back like that. She didn't care. And I have to say, out of all the bad girls that have came from Oxygen, Jayla has been the number one bad girl that has stood in the paint regardless of anything. And I have to get that to her. Now, as far as Persuasion, she tried. She did that at the beginning of this season, but you can tell that's not something she wants to do all season long. But yeah, Persuasion says she's outgrown, and I really do wish the best for her in her endeavors. You know, I was a fan on Bad Girls Club, a little bit of a fan here on Baddies. It was nostalgic, but I wish you the best. You know, the girls are, you know, sad to see her go, but Persuasion, she's had her time. It's time for her to pass the torch. Unless you like Natalie, executive producing and the CEO baddie. But Tommy and Pressure are talking, and apparently Pressure was in prison with Tommy's mother. And Pressure is like, I took care of your mom in there, and Tommy really didn't care for that much. And this kind of where it kind of got a little friction, but nothing really serious came from it. And the whole time I'm thinking TT don't relate to Pressure or Tommy in this aspect. Like she just like a little girl, like a daughter sitting in between them as they're talking about prison and all this other stuff. And Tinka and Rolly got to talking, and Tinka says she gonna head out before it turns into some street mess. Which I totally agree, because I feel like there is a line. Like I get it. It's Zeus is a subscription app, so they can get away with a lot more stuff. But at some point, when is there going to be a line of accountability? Because this is getting kind of reckless with the weapons and all this other stuff. Yeah, and I agree. Zeus needs to have a line between real life and reality TV, because it's not going to look good on the Zeus aspect if things go a little bit too far. It's really not going to look good. And so Rolly goes and meets with the other girls at the strip club, and more girls are coming in, and one of them is Brorilla, which is actually Glorilla's sister. And I do have mixed opinions about her, but I ain't finna get into that because Rolly already done got into that. And she has a crush on Big Lex. And the resemblance between Glorilla and Brorilla are very, very strong. Because they look just alike. And Glorilla and Rolly immediately calls out Glorilla and how she did her sister. And like I said, I really can't speak on that because that ain't none of my business. But all I know is that ain't got nothing to do with me, so I'm gonna stay out of that. And I'm pretty sure everybody felt the same way, but Rolly just had to be the one to say something and speak up. It was disgusting and all this other stuff, how she did Glorilla. And yeah, she had to be the one. And the other girls come while Barilla and Rolly are having an exchange. And Brorilla, she goes and sits with Big Lex. And it's so funny because Brorilla standing next to Big Lex is like, Brorilla's like here, and Big Lex is like here. So it's like a stallion with a pony. It's or Yorkie, I should say. It's like, I mean, once she went over there to sit with Big Lex, it was kind of cute, you know, Barilla smiling and whatnot. That was kind of cute. But moving forward, Rolly says that the new girls are coming in, and Shay coming in, and Shay from Baddies Going Wild comes in, and then the other girl, I forgot her name. I think it was Gold something, but she comes in, and Kanaya ends up fighting the other cabaret girl, the other girl that came in with Shay, and Emery instantly fights Shay. Like, it's like Baddies Going Wild girls fighting each other, and the cabaret girls fighting each other. And next week looks very interesting. That's all I have to say. And I cannot wait to see it. Look like it's going to be fade after fade. They're in my lovely state of Sunshine, Florida, and I cannot wait. I could have made a guest appearance. I wanted to go to the booking in Orlando, but unfortunately I had to work. So yeah, and if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.